Hi! Welcome to Devin's Gaming Reviews. Today, you'll be subjected to my review of the video game and cult hit Undertale. Undertale is one of those video games that encompasses so many different game design styles that it will be a challenge to adequately review, but the attempt shall be made today. To start off, Undertale is a top-down adventure game in which the player controls Frisk, a child who has fallen from the world of humans into the underground, where monsters have been banished for all eternity. Frisk begins an epic adventure in which it journeys to return to the surface, where home lives. Throughout this review, Frisk will be referred to as an it because Frisk's gender is up to the interpretation of the player. I mean, look at this person. Could Frisk be any more neutral? Undertale is a small game, running at about 9 to 12 hours, and costs only $10. It also can run on practically any computer, making it accessible to anyone who's interested.
The first primary focus will be the gameplay, as this is a video game. That stuff is kinda important. Undertale features random encounters that begin a turn-based battle, much like franchises such as Pokemon. In combat, the player has two options. First, the player can attack the opposing monster, lowering its HP until it reaches 0 to defeat the monster. However, the player can also perform an act, which has the player trying to persuade the monster to cease hostilities so that the player can perform mercy, sparing the monster and ending the conflict peacefully. After the player's turn, the monsters attack, which involves the player entering a bullet hell type gameplay in which the player dodges unique attacks. While violence provides experience, which in Undertale is called love, which will level up Frisk and increase its health, non-violence provides money and unique rewards that will be explained later. Next up is the story, which Undertale performs exceptionally. While the story in basic is just returning home, there is so much more. During the adventure, the player learns that the monsters and humans used to live together in harmony, until the humans engaged in warfare against the monsters. Strength in the world of Undertale exists in one soul, and humans have massively stronger souls than the monsters. Due to this, the monsters were easily banished to the underground, where they have lived ever since. However, Frisk is not the first child to fall into the underground. There have been 7 previously, all who were captured and their souls harvested. It is told in legend that it requires 8 souls of human strength to return to the surface. So, during Frisk's journey, monsters attempt to capture Frisk's soul so that they can return to the surface. However, not all monsters are trying to harm Frisk. In fact, most of them are fairly peaceful, with their own towns and societies. During the journey, Frisk can make friends that experience rich character development and provide some of the most humorous and heartwarming experiences in gaming history, if the player earns their trust. Part of what makes Undertale unique is the impact of how one plays the game. If the player chooses the path of non-violence, the game responds accordingly. However, if the player commits violence, depending on the degree of that violence, the game responds quite accordingly. Depending on one's playstyle, Undertale can be one of the most entertaining and charming experiences, or it can potentially be one of the most heinous, vile, and cruel experiences. Additionally, there are technically 24 different endings, all depending on how violence is utilized. Either way, the player will experience an emotional ride, and the consequences for one's actions will be felt.
The art aspects of Undertale is a large part of why it has transcended gaming. While designed to be a simple 8-bit style, Undertale provides a modern expression of that style which successfully conveys a spirit of ingenuity and talent. While the style is simple, the colors pop, the atmosphere is created, and an impression is made. There's a strong community following which has produced an immense amount of art. Another artistic aspect that has left me personally hooked is the soundtrack. Aw man. This soundtrack is one of the best video game soundtracks in existence. I use this soundtrack to write essays to all the time. To be honest, I've probably listened to the game more than I've actually played it. The soundtrack provides a variety of sounds for which the community can develop and create new sounds with. They've created works of art that range from metal all the way to jazz.
Undertale is a game I wish I could give a perfect 10 out of 10. But, due to giant AAA games that are also part of the gaming industry, I will have to settle for a 9.5 out of 10. However, I give the experience of Undertale a 10 out of 10. There is nothing in the gaming world like Undertale. There is nothing even comparable to Undertale. It is such a unique entity created out of pure passion from a small team of developers. It is an experience that everyone can receive for the very accessible price of just $10. Undertale is a game for the ages and will be revered for years to come.